Albert Breer, talking about the sense he's getting from the Browns head coaching search and who he thinks the favorite is.
I felt like all along, like Jim Schwartz sort of had the inside track here. I think they want to keep Jim Schwartz in the building based on what they know about him. And if you really drill down, like if we're being fair about this, Jim Schwartz, his time in Detroit, his third year they broke through. He took over a winless team. His third year they break through and make the playoffs for the first time in forever. And I think what kind of took them down there was more a roster building thing than anything else. Like I think he had really believed that he could make it work with kind of some wayward players. And they had a disastrous draft in 11 with Nick Fairley and Titus Young and Mikel LaSure, where that like Jeff Fisher Titans model didn't really work for them. But I think there's some merit to the idea of Jim Schwartz. And again, I think they'd like to keep him in the building in some capacity.
The other thing is Jim Schwartz has been around and is a defensive guy that he's a really good defensive coordinator. He knows what offenses give him trouble. So therefore remember, he had Calvin Johnson. He's going to want a playmaking wide receiver like we need.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things is if you're looking at it, you might want to swing for upside. Like some people say, hey, give me a hot coordinator. Listen, I need somebody that is able to neutralize some things. If you start over, and you got to have some leeway and some grace for these guys, man. When everybody got a nice little cute little plan until that get neutralized, get punched in the face, and then all of a sudden you're hit in the face with the what are we doing at quarterback? What are we doing here? This is crazy. Oh my goodness, the media in Cleveland is kind of wild. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this many people was going to be at training camp. If you got Jim Schwartz, a lot of that stuff gets shut down. I don't think Jim Schwartz is going to be playing around with people talking about or mincing words about certain things. I think he'll be very cut, dry, and clear with it. And on top of that, I think that you can literally have a place where a guy can say, "Hey, I'm going to give you free reign to go over there and fix this stuff." And by the way, all of the talking conversation, I don't think that a lot of these guys are going to have to take a little bit of time to warm up to him, because I think if you get a coach like Jim Schwartz, I think what is built in is instant accountability. It isn't now if you got a young guy, they're going to have to prove themselves to some of these veterans. They're going to have to say, okay, we got to win some games, or maybe if the offense looks good, all of a sudden guys will buy in. With Jim Schwartz, you already got that. I don't think Jerry Jeudy's going to be walking around being upset and mad. He's going to tell Jerry, hey, listen, dog, I'm going to just let you know how it is, man. Listen, I need you to play like a number one receiver. And if you're not, you're going to be sitting beside me. I think there's a lot of that can happen with this team. And I think that you can turn over a lot of the culture and a lot of some of this other stuff because he already is familiar with these guys in the building. So to me, I've always said it's 60-40. Jim Schwartz is in the lead. We'll see how it plays out. But to me, I think he gives you the best chance to buy instant credibility and win early if you can find some offensive pieces.
The other thing is Jim Schwartz, head coach, will have a very different demeanor and personality than Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator, because he deferred to Kevin Stefanski. That he will set the tone, and it will be a different tone than it was with Kevin Stefanski.
Very different, especially if it's a defensive-minded individual like Jim. He's more of an old-school guy.
Yes.
People say they want accountability. We spoke to Mike Pettin the other day on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. He said Jim is one of those guys. And Coach Pettin told us, he said, one of the things that I think is difficult now is there's a lot of these younger guys that are afraid to have a difficult conversation with people. And he said, I come from an era where we sit you down and say, hey, your idea of what you think is good enough is not my idea of what I think is good enough. We need to adjust that. And I think Jim Schwartz brings that certain type of directness and in your face attitude that is needed for this Cleveland Browns team. And I think it would be a much needed change in the building.